Brennan Poole looking quite dapper, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I like looking nice, and I put on a little race car tie, little old school cars, and my little tie bar. But yeah, I just like looking nice. You look nice, you feel nice,
Definitely, you feel nice, you run nice, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I try. Some people would say the opposite. On days where I don't feel good, I end up racing well. So I don't know. I need to feel cloudy and like I got a slight cold, and then it's going to be a good day.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, man. So I guess first off, how exciting is it for you, being able to be back full time again for the first time in Xfinity since 2017?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's just been a difficult road for me the last several years, and I've just had to continue to fight constantly to stay here. And so I feel real grateful for the opportunity that Tommy has given me to drive for him, but also grateful for the partners and the sponsors, because you got to have it to compete no matter where you are. So I'm just looking forward to the opportunity. I think Tommy's done a great job building his program. He's continued to make steps in the right direction. I feel like with me coming in there, working with all the guys in the team and continue to build, I can continue to help the team go in the right direction as well. So I'm really excited about that. I think we're going to have some really great opportunities next year to surprise some people and to have some pretty big runs. I think, I'm grateful to Johnny and Mike and all the other people that have given me opportunities over the last couple of years to still be here. I think we had some great runs this year for all the hard work that my team this past year and everybody put in. The Xfinity Series is so competitive right now. It's ridiculous. It's so tight. So in the midfield. So I'm looking forward to that challenge, and looking forward to just continuing this career I've been on. Going on 10 years, being in one of the top 3 series. So it's crazy to think that. It feels like I just got here, but I've raced somewhere for the last 3 years or last 10 years in the top 3. So that's cool, and it's a special feeling to know like this early that I'm going to be driving. My whole career, I don't really come from a lot of money. I've always had to rely on other sponsors and people or team owners giving me opportunities. So, I've never known this early that I was going to drive. I've always been nervous going over the off season through Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's sometimes. Even when I was at Ganassi, sometimes I didn't know until January if I was driving the car. So it was just, it's been a difficult journey, but I've learned a lot through it. I feel like I'm the best race car driver I've ever been in my career at this point. So I'm looking forward to just having some consistency, being in the car, and continue to get better and try to get the best results I can, do the best job I can for Alpha Prime.
How hard is it to stick through those rides with G2G and Harmon, just knowing that on a good day, the result is you make the race?
Yeah.
How hard is that to stick through those kind of things, and how sweet is it to now have a full-time ride?
Yeah, it's tough. I think I just try to block all that other stuff out of my mind when I got in the truck or got in the car, and I just try to make the truck or the car go as fast as I can make it go. And then, let it be what it's going to be, and try to execute on all the things that I can control, because I can't, there's certain things in those situations that I just have no control over, and I feel like if I could just do my job driving the car or the truck, that it would lead to more opportunities. And really, driving Mike's car at Darlington, the qualifying got rained out, but that lap there got me noticed. And of course, we qualified 19th in Charlotte in Harmon's car as well that previous year. So just some of those things got me a little bit more attention, which ultimately led to Johnny giving me a chance to drive the 6 this past year. So you just never know, like nothing, I got this advice from Brad Keselowski years ago, and I've thanked him for it many times, but there's no blueprint to making it in NASCAR. Like, everyone has done it so many different ways that it just, there's no clear-cut path. So I've had to do a lot of different things, a lot of difficult things that were just uncomfortable, but I just sucked it up and went through it and tried to do the best job that I could, and prayed for more opportunities. And I think because I just didn't give up and I just kept fighting and kept trying to be at the track, that now I've got a really good opportunity for next year. And shoot, I ran 7 Cup races this year, and the previous year I was racing for Mike. It's like, and the year before that I raced 1 time. So it's just you never know what's going to happen. You just got to take it one day at a time, and have faith and keep fighting. And I feel like that's what I've done. And I just prayed that some doors would open up for me, and they have. I've met some interesting people and have some great partners now that I never would have gotten if I didn't listen to Brad and keep fighting through it. But you just can't ever give up, and you never know what's going to happen. There's no clear-cut path, so just keep fighting.
And, every driver believes in themselves, obviously. You have to, or you're not going to perform well out there. But it seems like this team really believes in you as well. Hearing the things that Tommy Joe Martin is saying, he thinks you're a top 36 driver in the world. Feels like you could run full-time in Cup. He feels like you're one of the best in the Xfinity Series. What does that feel like, having a guy that believes in you that much?
It feels good. I think when I I've won a lot of races and a lot of championships in my career, which, they've all been leading up to getting into my start in Xfinity. But, a lot of people forget that, I didn't, before I got my Xfinity start at Ganassi, like I raced like 4 ARCA races here before. I literally, I didn't come from the money that it took to stay in the car. So I never really raced that much. I just kept pushing through to get more opportunities. And so I felt like, at the end of my time at Ganassi, I finished second in the playoffs, was running top 5s, was in the fight to make the Final 4 before getting taken out by a lap car. But, I think, right when I was on the cusp of winning, it kind of went away. And then I was been on this crazy fight to stay here. But, I mean, that's part of the sport. I didn't have the luxury of being able to race constantly. I just didn't have the money to do it. So I tried to make the most out of every opportunity that I've had. I was young when I first got here. I probably wasn't ready for that opportunity because I didn't have the seat time. And by the time I was ready, it was over. So I kept pushing, and I raced the 30 truck for Bones and JGL was JGL. It's On Point Motorsports, but I raced for them for a while, and that I think really got my head in the right place. I was working in the shop with those guys. I was there all the time, and I was fighting for my career, and we had a lot of fun. I ran second at Charlotte in the 30 truck, the Kyle Busch, in 2019, and that kind of led me to the next opportunity with other sponsors and stuff. And I ran the 15 car for Premium and met Rick and all those guys when he bought it. And I was still racing for Bones in the 30 truck and trying to, just keep fighting the fight and build partners and sponsors and stuff. And then through COVID and everything, I lost a sponsor and then, then lost a big deal, probably would have been the biggest deal in my career, and went away through COVID. And I was like, well, okay. Then I went snowboarding, broke my wrist. I got a plate in here now. Lindsay's mad at me for that because I only got to race 1 year for Bones in the one time. That year in 2021, and then 2022 I raced for Mike, and then I raced for Johnny this past year. So it's been a crazy journey. But I've learned so much. I've learned a lot more about the business. I've become a better salesman myself with spending time with partners and sponsors. I've become a much better race car driver and a person as a whole going through all this stuff. I have some very unique experiences that not many people get to have.
So one of the things that, Tommy mentioned, speaking of that knowledge, is like your time at CGR. He said there's a different perspective being able to work with like one of the big time operations than going to like what he wants to be, kind of like that mid-pack competitive team. Is there like some other perspectives you've been able to learn?
Well, I think, when you race for a big organization, you just learn some things that they do for, like to prepare for the race, or, how to best motivate your team, so through that I've learned. But I've raced for a lot of big teams coming up through the ranks, and I've won a lot of races, and I own my own late model that my dad and I won a championship with. So we, I've always been in that winning mindset, and it's been tough because in NASCAR I've yet to win a race. I've been close so many times, and that's been a challenge for me because all I've done my whole life is win. So I really just want to get to victory lane. I think we'll have some shots next year at the speedways and stuff. We have leased engines, things like that. So you never know what's going to happen. I've turned out to be a pretty darn good road course racer for whatever reason. You just don't know how things are going to shake out. But I'm still in that fight. I want to get back in a really good car. I want to fight for wins and championships on a regular basis. So the fight continues, but I've learned so much. You learn stuff at the small teams and the teams in the middle too. And when you can put all that knowledge together, I think it can just help everybody in the team and the organization be better. The way that I do stuff before the race with the crew chief, with my teammates, the way we do stuff after the race, post-race, how I train. I've learned so much on how to take care of my body, and how to be in the best shape for driving the car, thanks to Josh Wise and Mike Metcalf, guys I met when I was at CGR. So just those types of things. And when you're able to put it all together, like I said, I feel like I'm the best driver I've ever been at this point right now in my career. So I'm just going to go out there and make the most of the opportunity and try to get everything I can get out of this 44 car and our team and Tommy Joe, and just try to put it together.